Alright, here's an updated review of my Subaru Ascent. I'm going to quickly go over some things that after 13,000 miles I like and I don't like. Most of the things I don't like are little knickknacks. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the vehicle. First knickknack. There's a rumor that if you're going fast, like 80 plus, and you're going a really windy road, the hood will start coming up a little bit. I mean, it's still latched, it's still a really heavy hood, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But as someone who's had a car that has had a hood come up on me one time, just it kind of vibrating around, I don't really like it. That could be a very specific issue with this Subaru. That may not be an issue with all. Plus, most of the time, I'm not going that fast, so it's only happened a couple times for me on the I-40 heading towards Kingman, where it's really windy. Just passing some people, accelerating, and I notice this thing starts coming up. I mean, it's latched, it's not going to go anywhere, but that's a little bit of an annoyance. Next thing. You know, I really, this is not a critique of Subaru so much, or the Ascent, but I think this whole, like, open this up is kind of gimmicky. One of the things I don't like is, let's say it's coming down, and then all of a sudden you change your mind, you're like fighting it to try to stay up. Like that time it responded well, but other times it doesn't. It's just kind of a pain. And but it's a minor thing. That's a nitpick thing. That's not a reason to not buy the car. This area here, as you can see, mine gets some use. You got to keep this area here clean, because if not, you can jam the little latch mechanism here. So sorry if that's giving you vertigo here. Try to move it more or less. So just a tip. Other minor annoyance is you do have plenty of cargo room. Like here I've got the third row down, but I think this space could be utilized a little bit better. Coming from a Honda Element, I might be spoiled because, you know, that car was really well laid out, but I can move more. I could definitely move more stuff with my Honda Element than the Subaru. And if you're gonna try to sleep in it, use it as like a little mini camper, you definitely want to get the bench seats rather than the captain's seats, because these only fold down like 45 degrees, where the bench, not the captain, will go flat. So think about that depending on your use. I mean, it's not a bad cargo space. I mean, you can do everything that a normal family would do, you know, grocery shopping, which I'm about to do here, you know, storing stuff, throwing the dogs in. But it just seems like this space could be a little bit better managed, I guess. I don't know. But that's just the choice of buying this vehicle. The Honda Pilot, I think, does a slightly better job. But I think it just depends. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this vehicle. And it's got enough cargo space. And you can always get a tow hitch and tow a little trailer, too, if need be. One other thing. Oh, yeah. This light placement right here, this kind of bugs me. Just because, you know, I'm coming home where I live, there's no street lamps or anything. So when I'm putting cargo in, I come home at night, I've got this covered up. It's just a minor nitpick thing again, but that's not a lot of light, and then to cover it up, it's essentially darkness in here. I mean, when you open up, sometimes these lights will turn on here like they just did. So it's not that big of a deal, but I wish this light was up here, or even better, right about there. But again, that's nitpicky. What else can I nitpick on? Oh yeah, this guy, the fob here. I mean, I've got a fair amount of junk on here. I think this is too big. You know, I've got a 4-year-old and I'm constantly bending over to pick up his toys or trash on the ground or something. It seems like every time I bend over, one of these buttons is always getting pressed, like maybe they need to be indented or something. I don't know, but it's always beeping at me. You know, I'll be in the garage and bend over and I hear this thing out in the parking lot, or out in the front driveway, go beep beep. You know, I just wish this was smaller, or these buttons incaved a little bit. Again, that is a minor nitpick. Another nitpick, talking about these lights. if you have kids, which is highly likely, since what the heck's going on here? Sun's fooling around or something. Since you're buying a 3-row seater, your kids are going to hit those lights, and part of the problem is these lights automatically come on a lot of times when you open the doors or shut them. So if your kids bashed or hit one of these lights, you can't really tell. So now when I exit the vehicle at night or even in the day, sometimes I'll lock it, I'll wait till the lights dim, and then I've got to look and make sure that my kid hasn't hit any of these little lights, so they stay on and drain the battery. And you know, this, who knows how long it would take to actually drain the battery from one of these little lights being left on, but it's a minor annoyance. Other people have brought that up in their reviews, like Hive of 5. Again, nitpicky stuff. Not any reason to dissuade anybody from buying the vehicle. It's just something I wish they would think about. I don't even really know what the solution is that, because sometimes you might want the vehicle locked, but you want some of these lights on still. So I don't know, but it's kind of annoying. Seems like my other vehicles in the past didn't do that. I haven't really thought through a solution yet. If you have a good one, leave a comment. Let's go to the safety features here. I like all of them except lane assist. Lane assist pisses me off. Luckily you can turn it off with this guy here. Just click that. It just doesn't work well enough. It's like betaware. Having it on doesn't hurt anything. And to counterbalance my view, I've got a friend who's got a brand new Forester, and he uses lane assist, and he says he really likes it. And interestingly, he doesn't like what do they call it, auto vehicle hold, which I really like. Basically what it does is when you stop, it puts your car in park until you hit the gas, and then you go again. So if you're doing stop and go, you don't always have to keep your foot resting on the brake. So I really like that, but he's down in more traffic or more rural, and he doesn't. The other safety features, lane warning, I like. If I'm drifting out of the lane, that's fine. The adaptive cruise control works really well. You can also adjust the distance between how close you're following with these buttons here. I should have left this turn differently. Well. I like that. That works really well. You can basically use this little knob here to accelerate, decelerate, so it's almost like you're driving the car. You're just chilling with your feet off the pedals. Accelerate when you need to, decelerate, and the car controls how close you are. So if a car is going, if you set it to 70, a car in front of you goes 60, it'll, you know, get up behind them and slow down to 60 automatically. So for long trips and stuff on pretty straight roads, I like it. X mode, haven't really used it that much, to be honest. Yeah, my car's dirty. Traction control, haven't messed with it. I'll splice in some footage here of driving in the snow, driving in the off-roading, which I'll talk about in a sec, as positives. What's my last nitpick? My last nitpick isn't really a nitpick. It's just something that could be improved on. The brakes. The brakes are adequate. They're not great. They're not bad. But you can tell because it's a heavy car, it's a heavy vehicle, that when you're braking and you're going fast, it brakes adequately, but I think they could beef them up just a little bit. It's not a danger. Again, it's a nitpick thing. It's not anything worth not buying the car over. Just something I wish they could beef up on later models. This door also, speaking of the fob, because it's in my pocket, the annoying thing is often I'll press the button here that opens the tailgate when I'm inside. So I've come out a couple mornings and this is open. That really bugs me. So that's it for the nitpicks. What do I like about it? Alright, one pet peeve that I forgot to mention that I'm splicing in here as I'm driving, which is dumb, but I've got time to kill. Android Auto. Android Auto normally works great, and again, this could be an experience just with me and this particular Subaru, or it could be a problem with my phone. Both my wife and I have the same Motorola Play Z2, I think they are, phones. It could be a problem with the USB-C wires, though I've tried multiples and it seems to be pretty much the same. What I'm getting at as you plug it in, it disconnects a lot. I wish that Android Auto would work with Bluetooth. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So you have to connect to one of the little USB ports down here to your phone. And it just seems like it disconnects, and there's a bug. I was reading about this somewhere online, that it's legit. I've experienced it and others have too. Unfortunately, when Android Auto disconnects, sometimes you have to literally turn your car off, let it sit for a couple minutes, and turn it back on before it will reconnect again. Usually on long trips, my wife is in here, so if Android Auto isn't working, it's no big deal. I just tell her to navigate. But for her, it's really frustrating because she likes to play YouTube videos if we have connectivity, and it really pisses her off that things get disconnected and she can't do that. So there you go, one other little pet peeve, a minor thing. Hopefully they'll, if it is with the Subaru and not with the phone, and it, again, I've read this online and other places, so it seems to be with the Subaru. Hopefully they'll fix that in the upcoming models.